Hey, I'm Cristina from Alpha 91.3, and I'm with someone that is beyond unique. LP, how are you?
Like, hi, Christina. What's up? How are you?
Good, fine. I mean, it's been like 2 years since the last time we talked.
I know, man. Was that right before that show or after that show?
Yeah, it was before the show. It was
Before.
before.
Yeah.
It
And
was
then we
in
had
the morning.
at the show that night.
Yeah. And it
Yes,
was in the morning, and we agreed to drink some mezcales, but
I
it
know.
was too early for that.
Yeah, it was a little early. Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that. It's never kind of too early some days. You know what I'm saying?
It's always 3 p.m., 5 p.m. everywhere
Yeah.
in the world, somewhere in the world.
It's verdad.
Okay, so LP, there are so many things going on this 2020 for you. I mean, the live at Moscow, the new single, the live stream that is coming in a few days, and I'm so happy for you because you've worked so hard for everything that you got. You deserve it. You've earned it. And how are you feeling with all of this?
I mean, I think it's I don't know. I just kind of like I feel like very even keel about it. I'm like I'm psyched to like have new music out. I feel like you say deserve it, but I mean I think a lot of people. There's a lot of people I know that deserve stuff, but like it's there's a bunch of luck involved. I think, and just like and then there's timing. It's like when it's the time for you or whatever. And
Mhm.
I just feel like I feel kind of in a relaxed state. I feel like this song that we just released, I feel like is just this we did a lot of work. There's a lot of songs coming out, and like so I feel that kind of like it's almost like wow, I can't wait for this and this to come out too. So I just feel like I'm kind of sitting on a body of work that feels good. And I don't know. I've been like since this has happened and before I just feel continually inspired. Um,
Yeah.
if by nothing else, and like my fan base has been so supportive, and I don't know. I just feel very. I feel a sense of responsibility to like kind of give them good stuff.
About this fan base, I mean, I remember, I don't know if you remember, but in our show, like 2 years ago, I was backstage and I could not hear you singing because the crowd was louder than you. I mean, they were just like, wow, we love you and everything. Do you remember that show?
Yeah, that was crazy. That actually was kind of like eye opening at the time because that was before I did a bunch of stuff, and I was like,
Mhm.
that was when everybody sang recovery with me and everything, and I was just like, huh, wow, this is I didn't see that coming, to be honest. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have a few fans out there. My friends were in the pit, I was just like, yeah, and then I was like, oh, okay, very cool. I feel like just being so embraced by Mexico was just
Mhm.
a beautiful thing,
That was crazy. That was crazy. And because you have such a good energy and intense energy on stage. So let's talk first about the live at Moscow. I know that you were like inspired when you saw the Chip Tricks live in Japan. But
Yeah,
can you remember like which was the first time that you
I
saw
never saw
someone on
that.
stage? What, sorry?
Oh, I said I never saw it, but I heard it, and I just remember like wow.
Yeah, you heard it. Maybe some saw videos on YouTube.
Yeah. Mhm.
But what was the first time, LP, that you saw someone on stage and you said, I want to be also a performer. I want to be an artist. I want to be a rock star and on stage.
Probably like stuff of like Freddie Mercury or like I don't know, I think like the Beatles, that old stuff, just
Whoa.
seeing like stuff like that and the Rolling Stones. I mean, like my friends and I'd be like, in the basement with like tennis rackets, like banging on them and stuff like that. And I don't know, yeah, it just felt like but it felt so distant. So I never knew where to begin. It was like definitely like, like fumbling in the dark for so long.
Okay. And about this live at Moscow, which was great, was it hard to make the set list? I mean, how to pick which could be in and which was the song you fought the most to keep on on the show?
Well, no, I mean, it was a set already done, like we have a set usually because,
Hmm.
there's a lot of like things involved in it, just got to keep the pacing of the show. I feel like that particular Moscow show just felt like very intact and like kind of like perfect. And there was some other in the running, but I feel like that show just had a vibe, you know, and we were able to get some really nice, like a bit of video footage here and there. So it was, everything kind of came together, and it's just like, you know, like I've been saying about like the live at Budokan, you know, it just sounds cool, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Live at Moscow. And which was the first time LP that you heard the recording? I mean, you were with all the band at the studio, or they sent you something to listen at your home, and
Yeah,
you were
no,
like, whoa.
yeah, they sent it to me at home, and I was like, oh shit, that's really cool. Like, you know, because I'm always like, oh god, okay, and then it was okay, it was good.
Which was the most fulfilling moment of getting this ready and have it in your hands, like the whole album, the art, everything?
Oh gosh, I mean, I think when I saw like just the artwork of, I love the way it looked like an old news clipping in a way, you know,
Yeah.
the front cover, and it just like it like there's a lot of moments where I'm just like kind of like, I can't believe that's like my project, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh wow, that looks like, it looks real. It looks like professional.
It is professional and real and so good. I hope that this one is the first live show of many that you decide to put on a recording.
Thanks. I
And
would
talking,
definitely put Mexico one out someday soon.
oh my God, that would be awesome. But I mean, you have to be careful of the screaming fans, because we are loud.
Yeah.
And about doing things for the first time, you also, in this in between time, like the shows and the tours and making new music, you also did something for the first time, that it was getting into a studio and just listening to someone that is no longer here on earth, but that was a fan of you, Chester Bennington. So working with Grey
Yeah.
Daze, the shouting
Yeah.
out, I mean, which was the most emotional moment for you, LP?
I mean, I think just when I had his vocals, you know, I was trying to do these harmonies with him, so I like just had them isolate the vocals completely, and I was just like, wow, there's so much quality to his voice, you know. There was just so much, like it was just so like, you know, I said, like a big fat sound. It's just like there's a lot of texture to his voice, you know, and I just really connected with it, and yeah, it's really wild to like not be able to talk to him about it. You know, I don't know that I've never done that before, you know.
Yeah, but it was great. I mean, I saw some of the clips and also like the big interview you had with Dave Navarro and everyone there, and they love you. They are really fans of your work,
Yeah.
and I think that you've made your like a legacy too with Chester's voice, and I think that he would be so proud of your work.
That's cool. Thanks. Yeah, I hope he'd like it, and it's just a dope song. I really dig this song.
Okay, so let's talk about something else, because everything was good and great and a lot of projects and collaborations and Morrissey and everything, but then the pandemic thing, damn.
Oops. It's
Oopsie.
like running, tree. You know.
Do you think that maybe it was needed for, not for everyone, but for you, like to stop?
That's a good question. I mean, my immediate response would be no, hell no. Like, but you know, I think I've always, you know, I talk about it a lot, but I really appreciate, you know, what I have and where I'm at, you know, in this whole thing. But I definitely, you know, I feel like, yeah, you just get into this kind of like thing where it's just like, you know, like home for a minute, get out, run, tour, play. And it is interesting to like, I had more time to you know, work on the record that's coming out. I've written a bunch of new songs even that I wouldn't have had if I was on the road. We got we're setting up the record in a nice way. Like, I feel like everything's kind of a little less rushed. We were able to set up, you know, because this was a big year for me as far as, you know, I was done with all my labels, you know, like now I'm like every person that's like working my music in the world is like dying to be on this project, and we are like, you know, fully behind them and they're fully behind us. Whereas I felt like, you know, I've been kind of like working for the man for a while, you know what I mean? Where it's like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they say that like, oh yeah, you know, they're with you, and they like, you know, take credit for things that may or may not be all theirs, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that and you know, you have to at the end of the day ask them if you can do things a certain way, you know, and like put this out or do that. Now just like don't care. I mean, like we're doing how we want to do it, and you know, and taking and using money the way we want to use it, and getting, you know, it feels like a direct line to the fans, you know what I mean? Like instead
Yeah.
of having to like, you know, because people be like, oh, what happened to this or what happened to that, and you know, you still have to do things because it's like a time and all that, but like I feel like you know, it's one of those live and die by the sword moments, like, you know, like we're like kind of like the most in control of what we're releasing than we've ever been. Than we've ever
Yeah. Yeah, you're so right. And I love that you are so in control of who you want to work, like to keep that freedom that you always fought for.
Yeah.
And you gathered again Mike, Nate, and you made this incredible new single that is the one that the one that you love. I love it. But how was it? I mean, like you started talking about a debate about love, or it was someone else
No,
specific story?
it's like what I go through all the time with my, you know, my shit, you know. It's like you know, she'd get mad at me, but like sometimes I'm like you know, but you know, does what who doesn't go through that, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
um I think you know, like it's like a, you know, passionate relationship. I'm in a oh, you know, I don't believe being in a non-passionate relationship. So
Mhm.
so shit happens, and you know, sometimes I feel like that, and then sometimes I don't.
I you want to know my favorite lyric of it?
What do you got?
It was, don't treat my love like a habit.
Oh,
The thing
nice.
that you're telling, you know, it's like if you don't have this intense relationship and it doesn't go through ups and lows,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
everything monotony.
Not looking to be like kind of like, you know, just like you know, like that fucking video game The Sims or whatever, you know, just like bye honey, see you later, you know, like I don't fuck that shit. No.
Okay. And about the video, I don't know if you saw it, but it was released like 4 days ago and you have more
Mm.
than 1 million views.
I heard that, and people sent me some little screenshots of it. That's pretty rad, pretty crazy.
That's
Um,
amazing.
but-
I gotta tell you that when I saw the video, I mean, when I heard
mm.
it, I know that it was your particular sound, your unique sound. But when I saw the video, I thought of Ennio Morricone, you know, for like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
my God.
I mean, you know, we're always trying to you know, conjure that up, you know. And I'm glad. Thanks. You know, uh, we had like some really good people on it. Darren Craig is you know, the creative director, and it was funny because we were like we were talking about the video, and you know, we were limited because of COVID what we could do, you know. So it's like
Hmm.
we could, you know, do it in a car and, you know, driving and be like, you know, and I was like, fucking car. Like I'm so done with the in the car thing for myself and for other people. It's just like, you know, let's get
Hmm.
an old cool car and drive, you know, like I'm just, I mean, nothing against anybody who does that, but I was just like, I'm sick of that thing, you know? And
Yeah.
then I was like, wait, maybe I drive a motorcycle instead. You know, I'm driving a motorcycle. Fuck it, you know, driving a motorcycle. And am I allowed to curse? I am on Mexican radio, right?
I love
Yeah.
it.
But yeah, so then Darren calls back and he's like, "What about a horse?" And I was like, "Oh my god, that's amazing," you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Um, so and then we, you know, it just kept going, you know. I mean, and people have already noticed it, but it's kind of cool because we filmed it like in this place where like they film Westworld, so
Yeah.
it's kind of like I don't know, I like Westworld, so it's like
I was about to say that. I mean, I know that Westworld was filmed there, but
yeah,
I was thinking about you because the first time we talked here in Mexico, also, I asked about what was your first LP, the first LP that you bought, and you told me Led Zeppelin 4.
yeah.
So I'm imagining a little, a younger LP. And I mean, all these influences of spaghetti Western and Led Zeppelin, how was growing up for you and having these influences and not maybe watching Jurassic Park or Star Wars like everybody else? I don't know. I
I
cannot imagine you in like
Well, I
that
did
time.
watch those things too, but I feel like you know, I just, there's always been something. I think it's like the whole, like, you know, my mom, like, you know, playing opera and my dad playing Johnny Cash, you know, like, I feel like there's like this classic side that I have to me, like, and you know, and just like the way my voice sounds, I think sometimes is not like not as I don't know, it just sounds a little bit more kind of like I think back in the day I used to like get worried that it sounded too like show tuney or like kind of, you
Yeah.
know, like,
Mhm.
and but it didn't, because it had like, I always think I had like, you know, rock elements in there, you know. So but I feel like you know, in the last like, you know, 7 or 8 years, I felt all these genres that I think used to seem very separated in my voice, where I would like, you know, where like sometimes people would come up to me and be like, "You sound like this, you sound like this." I mean, that was even longer ago, to be honest.
Yeah.
But in more recent years, you know, like I've been able to really meld all the things that like I love together, and and you can really feel it. And I feel on this next record, I feel like on this next record, I kind of blurred the genres even more. You know, like
Mhm.
I feel like I really like when I listen to all the stuff, it's like it's kind of all over the place, which I love.
Because you're never gonna miss your ukulele. You're never gonna miss the rock in your voice. And I don't know what else. I
Might be
know.
always in arm's reach. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was about to say this about the new album. The production. You said in a few interviews that the production is getting ready. Do you still have more pending songs to be recorded, or is just in the post production? Or
well, some of them are in like some stages that we're like finishing them up, but I don't know. You know, if one pops out, you know, you never know. It's like, oops, sorry, excuse me. If like a, you know, song pops out, I'm not gonna apologize for it. I'm just gonna.
okay.
But I've got enough for 2 records now.
Wow, that's a lot. I have to ask something that I don't know if this is gonna get you in trouble, but I saw a live on Instagram where you mentioned a song that is, I have it here. Nothing comes before the drugs.
Oh yeah, I don't know if that'll be on it, but that's in a movie, and
Yeah,
yeah, and it's this movie called Puppy Love, and oh my god, I'm gonna forget his name, but it's
Butch
um
Vig from Garbage.
well, no, Butch Vig. Yeah, we wrote the song together. He produced it, and it's really cool. And it's about the movie. It's not about the person in the movie. Like, you know, I think that song will be released. The soundtrack will be released, so it'll be out. But I think it's a dope song.
Oh my God, you're doing everything like the show and the single, and we're gonna talk about the concert just in a few minutes.
Okay.
And I love that you are also using your platform, like to be near your fans. I know that you receive some calls when you have these live Instagram things, and you know it's been hard this quarantine and the pandemic and everything, every other problem going on in the world, LP. So a lot of prejudice going on, bad prejudice. So if your music could heal or fix some bad prejudice in the world, what would it be?
Oh, I mean, you know, honestly, in my country, like for racial equality, I just wish it just could be that systematic racism could, you know, be like, you know, just banished, you know, like that it never happened, you know. It's just like it's just such a lot of stuff to undo, and you know, and you know,
Yeah.
we're gonna do it's just so you know, like many things that are going on. You know, I'll speak for my own country because I don't, you know, it's hard enough to know what's going on here, let alone others countries. But I just feel like there's such a bunch of like rhetoric out there, you know, and like I think they're like constantly keeping everybody confused, you know, like as to what's up. I mean, and it's just yeah, if I could heal anything, it would be that for sure. I think you know, until everyone's um equal, we're just kidding ourselves. I think, you
Mhm.
know, as a human race, or as, you know, like we can't anyone who's first is like, I mean, who cares, you know?
Yeah.
Like all these people that are fighting to stay so rich, it's like, you know, we were watching that horrible Jeffrey Epstein documentary last
Oof.
night, and it's just like, ugh. I mean,
Yeah.
like all the wealth, and they say it like it's like, you know, this thing, like all these houses, like it's gross. Like, and to be that, you know, and to live that way, it's like it's a very sad world when you think of that part of the world. But you know, but there's a lot of good, and I want to always kind of keep my heart like pointing in that direction.
Yeah, and I know because I know that your music unites, your music heals, and that's why you're gonna have this live stream concert in the new age of
Hey!
coronavirus.
Yeah.
Yay! I mean, I have. Is it going to be like ready like at the same time for every country? But I heard something that people's gonna be able to record cheers and "I love you, Alfie" and everything they want to
Oh,
say.
yeah, might be like that. I'm like, I'll believe that, when I see it, it's happening, but like, it's going to be funny. I'm probably just going to be like hearing silence. It's like, like little fake paper hands coming out from the base of the camera. Just like, I'm going to shake, paper plate.
That's gonna be so an interesting experience for you, because the other time that I saw you singing alone, it was like a performance in 2012. You were in the South by Southwest in the street. Do you remember? And
Oh,
people
yeah.
were just walking by. So now you're gonna be alone, but on a stage with your band.
There you go. I wish people were just like walking by. Yeah, I remember that. That was just like, that was fun.
That was fun. And we were waiting for this show on August the 1st. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just to finish, LP, I want to make the same question that I asked you 2 years ago. I said, LP, if you could put in a time capsule 2 moments of the past 2 years, what would it be? And you said, like the time that I was singing Muddy Waters in the Coliseum in Bucharest, that was awesome for you. So
yeah.
now a lot of things have gone for you and happening in these 2 years. So which other 2 moments would you put?
I would say any moment from my shows in Mexico City. It's an incredible moment. Maybe yeah, I don't know. There were just so many moments in that show. And let's see, what's another good one? Oh, I mean, honestly, actually, no. That was like, what was the big, after I played in Mexico City in November, I went back and did a radio thing that was like, I don't know, 50, 60,000 people or something like that. And there was explosions and everything. I'm forgetting what that was for. Was that for this radio station?
I think it was, yeah. It was on December, I think.
Woo! Way to go. Yeah, so yeah, it was like, way to plug that station. Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
That and gosh, I don't know. I mean, honestly, also just like, when I was walking from the car to the backstage area, and just the shower of love that I received every time I went through that little tunnel to get there. It's just like, there's nothing that's more fulfilling than feeling the love from people that, for that kind of reason, just that they feel good when they listen to your stuff. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Well, LP, we hope to have more years of great moments to come with you and with our radio station.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be I'm gonna be tuned also to see you on August 1st. So I know your fan base are gonna be so ready. They love you. They're waiting for you to come up and just give them a smile.
I'm waiting for them, so it's mutual. But thank you so much, Cristina. I really appreciate it. And we'll have that mezcal.
Please.
Dude, 400 bunnies, baby.
Thank you for everything, and just have a good time and a good show. We're going to be here waiting for more of you, for more singles and alfa estrenos. That's the way we called it. Thank you very much.
Nice song. I really appreciate it.
Bye-bye, LP and Alpha.
Adios. See you.
Adios.